had grouper for the first time in Tampa back in 2019. My first time going to Tampa, and I absolutely loved it. And so finding it here in Michigan was a challenge at first, but I was able to find it at 2 stores. But it's better when I go to Tampa and get it because it's fresh. So yeah, we're gonna pan sear a little grouper. It's a meaty fish too. It's like, oh, look at that. It's like the steak of seafood. And I like to measure and weigh after cooking. So then I've got a little tilapia that I'm gonna cook just to have a little extra ready to go. All right. Let's get this put on the stove and seasoned up. Hooray for fresh fish. So, got some cumino. I think this is like the new one. Hold on. There we go. I buy so much of it. So I'll put some cumin on it. And bam. All right. And just for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna use a little bit of black pepper. I'm gonna use cayenne pepper on the tilapia. But for the grouper, just a little bit of black pepper. Simple enough, right? Easy. All right. And I like to cook it until it gets a nice sear on it. Cook some tilapia. This is the unexciting part of prep. Cooking all the food. The grocery shopping is easy though. Because then it's like, okay, you only get so much food, right? You know exactly what to get every single time. The biggest things that do tend to change when I am in prep is the food options get less and less. So the first, and I like to say in stages. So the first stage of prep for me, I can still have, some of the fattier cuts of meat. I can still have bison, I can still have salmon. I can still have the lean beef, which is usually 93.7. And then I can still have sweet potatoes, rice, oats, if I want oats, rice cakes, flavored rice cakes. But as I move into phase 2, then the fatty proteins get cut first. For obvious reasons. I mean, you're doing a bodybuilding show, the idea is to get as lean as possible with as little fat intake as, you need. Still need some fat intake, but that's where some of the supplementation comes into play. So I do supplement with fish oil. And I still have 1 serving of, if I'm allowed to. It depends on what coach says, how I look. I can usually have 1 serving of salmon, possibly per week, or some other fat source, almonds, cashews. I can get kind of carried away with those though, so we try not to go there. I like it tastes good, the fats. But then the last phase is all of the fats get cut, and then there's usually smaller portions, and then it's just only the lean proteins. So fish, chicken. Some turkey is allowed typically, but I try to stick with just the chicken and the fish. And then if I need to have beef based on how I look, then coach will tell me. But everything is pretty much based upon how I look. I lean on a lot of green veggies, bell peppers, zucchinis, spinach. Like if it's green, I'm in for it, except for avocados, which don't agree with me anyway, which is sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, I love to get as creative as I can with the veggies because I hang my hat on them a lot. So big salads are a huge thing with like spinach base, broccoli, broccolini, squash. I try to stick with the greener veggies, but like I get some color in there. Red bell peppers are my favorite. Yeah, but it's all based on look. So those are my 3 phases of prep. The carbs are pretty standard. I get to have sweet potatoes I can still have plain cream of rice and then regular rice. Simple. And again, I can still have oats if I want to. Try not to eat too many oats just in case I don't want to be like, you know, bloated. But super simple. I mean, protein, veggies, and a moderate amount of carbohydrates. Balanced diet. It's very simple. Tilapia. So I got sweet potatoes in the microwave. Almost done. You hear it sizzle, sizzle? Cayenne pepper. Keep it loaded. Okay. I think when you get to a certain point in dieting, you just need to go after different textures. So hence why I'm cooking grouper and tilapia. Because it keeps my palate interested. And then I think that the next thing is obviously, you know, any sort of flavor outside of texture that you can kind of put together that's within, you know, a realm of what your coach says is allowable. Should go with that. So usually I'll season both sides, flip it, get the sear, and flip it one more time. Oh, yeah, that part. Yeah. Oh, that. So what I'll do is I'll season this other side of the fish and then flip it over one more time each side just to get the rest of the sear that's needed. Yeah, I'm being super lazy with my sweet potatoes. I am not trying to be in the kitchen all day. So we put them in the microwave. Gotta flip it just right. Yeah. Me getting hungry. So in addition to my food, the biggest thing to manage because the calories go low is energy. So in addition to my mutant sups, I usually take joint support. I love this one. It's my favorite. It's Instaflex and B50 complex. Lots of B vitamins, keep the energy up. That's just a huge component with, you know, so much physical activity on very little calorie intake. So you got to supplement when you know you're not eating as many or as much of a variety of foods. Well, that happened. You're on camera. That typically does not happen, so I don't know why that's happening here with y'all here. All right. Yeah, blanket. Thank you. So embarrassed. This never happens. Never happens. I know, right? Like, what? These things happen, I guess. All right, well, here's the fish. Oh, look at that. This looks so good. Yums. That's how we do it. And there's something about pan-searing it. Just adds a little extra texture onto it. Load them up. Oh, does anybody else eat like the little crispy, I call them fish bites, but like the little nuggets that pop off like off the edges? Oh, and they're still sitting in the pan? Oh, I don't know what it is about those ears. All right, so we've got plenty of fish, y'all. And we will get the scale out, do a little measure. And then I'm gonna eat one. Oh, did you get the sweet potatoes? They smell so good. Yums. That grouper though. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna eat the broccoli raw. Why not? So I'll just chop off the ends, the florets. after I wash it, and I just like to snack on them. That's it.